Ashley McBride. Today is August 31st, 2022, and I'm going to be discussing the integumentary system today. So we've got a couple different types of tissue. We've got smooth muscle tissue, we've got neural tissue, we've got connective tissue, and we've got epithelial tissue. So some accessory structures that you're going to find in the skin. You've got nails on your hands and on your feet, and then you've got tactile corpuscles and lamellar corpuscles. You've got erector pili for pulling up your hair, like when you get cold and it stands up. We've got nerve endings and fibers. We've got eccrine glands, which is a sweat gland. It's what you typically think of sweat. It's that thin, watery type of sweat. We've got hair shafts. We've got hair follicles. We've got apocrine glands, which is a sweat gland that contains pheromones. And then we've also got sebaceous glands, which is an oil gland. And then to break it down a little further, so we've got the epidermis here, and then we've got the dermis underneath. So in the epidermis layer, there's a few layers of that. So the most superficial is called the stratum corneum. This is just thin, flat, dead keratinocytes. This is gonna slough off over time. And then below that, we've got the stratum lucidum, sort of. So this is only in thick skin. Think your palms or the bottoms of your feet. The rest of your body pretty much is thin skin. So this is only in thick skin. And then just below that, we have the stratum granulosum. This is where your keratinocytes are kind of at work, finally. And then just below that, we've got the stratum spinosum. And this is where your keratinocytes are attaching to the total fibrils of the cytoskeleton, and they're dividing. It's a pretty exciting time for the keratinocytes here. And then we've got the Langerhans cells, which is a phagocytic immune cell here, and melanocytes, which give you the color of your skin. And then below that, we've got the stratum basal, and this is an interesting issue as well, or area as well. We've got the epithelial stem cell, basal stem cells, which is just a really interesting type of cell. And then we've got melanocytes, and we've got Merkel cells, which is a sensation cell. And then we obviously also have keratinocytes. Below the epidermis, we have the dermis, and the dermis is comprised of two layers. We've got the papillary layer, which is a superficial layer of the dermis. It's loose connective tissue. It contains capillaries and some nerve axons. Below that, you've got the reticular layer of the dermis. This is dense, irregular connective tissue. It is full of hair follicles and nerves, sebaceous glands, sweat glands, blood vessels. And then separating the dermis layers is something called the subpapillary plexus, and it kind of looks like a braid of arterial supply and venous supply blood vessels. And then even deep to the dermis, we've got something called the hypodermis. This is also called the subcutaneous layer, and it kind of separates the integumentary system from the structures below. As far as a future career application for this, I'm looking at going into orthopedics and whether I'm creating the injury via surgery, or it's an injury to the skin that was caused by whatever caused the orthopedic injury. I need to know what's going on in the skin and how to treat it and how to take care of the different structures. All this information came from this book. It's the 9th edition of Human Anatomy by Bart Sweeney, and it was produced by Pearson. Thank you.